So tonight's show is Eikaiwa Live, Unit 19, Section F. First, listen and repeat English questions that are great for conversation. And then you will have 4 minutes to write your answer to each question in the chat. And then you have 4 minutes to write a new question in the chat by changing my question. Let's begin. So the first question of tonight's show is, do you know anyone who is available to teach Japanese? So listen and repeat. Do you know anyone who is available to teach Japanese? One more time. Do you know anyone who is available to teach Japanese? Okay, so now please write your answer in the chat. I'll start the timer. You have 4 minutes. Do you know anyone who is available to teach Japanese? Now, this is a little bit of a tough question because, it's, I don't, it's, talking about other people, you don't really know, if they are available or not. Only they know. So a lot of times, when people ask this kind of question, do you know anyone who is available to do something? You could say, I might know someone, and then give some more information. If you are available to teach Japanese, then that's very easy. You could say, of course, I'm available to teach Japanese. But if it's another person, then you might say, I'm not sure, but my friend might be available to teach Japanese. Or you might just say, "Oh, sorry, I don't know. I don't know anyone who is available." And then, of course, the location is important too. Um, some people are available to teach, Japanese here, like for example, like in Guma, but they're not available to teach Japanese in Tokyo, or kind of vice versa. Do you know anyone who is available to teach Japanese? Um, and I would, talking about myself, you can use the word personally. Like personally, I don't know, anyone who is available to teach Japanese right now, but I could ask a few people. Do you know anyone who is available to teach Japanese? That's a good, it's a question, yeah, it is a question. All right, Takanona says, I don't think there's anyone suitable. There are people who understand Japanese, but I don't think they can explain in English. All right, thank you for joining the show, Takanona. Nice answer, nice idea. This is a little bit of a tough question. Okay, Workshop, thank you for joining the show too. I can teach you wrong Japanese words. That's funny. That's funny. Yeah, there's kind of, I think I've seen before the kind of funny, people get like kanji tattoos and but it's not the correct kanji. Yeah. Anyways, great job. Nice work. Let's move on to the next section. If you're still making your idea, please feel free to share your ideas anytime. Let's move on to the next section. So this time, please write a new question in the chat by changing my question. So I'll start the timer. So now, yeah, you can write a new question in the chat by changing my question. My question is, do you know anyone who is available to teach Japanese? And when you make a new question, you can change, my question any way you want. Um, so, you could, like, for example, maybe talk about teaching Japanese. Uh, have you ever tried teaching Japanese, or um, do you think it's easy to teach Japanese? Or you could change the verb teach Japanese to a different verb. Like, do you know anyone who is available to go fishing with me next weekend? Yeah, something like that. Anything's okay. All right. Do you know anyone who is available to teach Japanese? Let's try to write a new question in the chat by changing that question. Um, I know, for students, or not only students, but some people, who don't have a car. Okay, K Workshop says, do you know anyone who is available to go to a party? Nice idea. Nice idea. Do you know anyone who is available to go to a party? I like it. A nice idea. And it's kind of a some um, I would say one important thing about parties is like what kind of party. Uh, so you know if it's kind of drinking at an izakaya kind of party, I'm available. But if it's a maybe if it's maybe if it's like a dance dance party at a club, I might say, I'm sorry, I'm not available. Something like that. You know, there's kind of uh, just using "Do you know anyone" is useful. Like, for example, like, do you know anyone who speaks Spanish? I want to practice speaking Spanish more. Okay. Takesh says, do you know anyone who likes the band East of Eden? I know one person for sure. Yeah, great question. Nice idea. So yeah, great job using likes. Do you know anyone who likes the band East of Eden? Great. Okay, Takanona says, do you know anyone who is available to teach me how to play movie music on a piano? Nice idea. Yeah. Hiro T says, do you know anyone who is available to work with us? Great question. Thank you for joining the show, Hiroki. YTH says, do you know anyone who is available to swim? Great. Thank you for joining the show, YTH. Yeah, perfect. Great questions. Great ideas, everyone. Okay, well, let's move to the next question of tonight's show, which is, when are you usually available to study? Let's listen and repeat. When are you usually available to study? One more time. When are you usually available to study? Okay, so please write your answer in the chat. I'll start the timer. When are you usually available to study? This is a serious question for some of my students. I think some of my students are not often available to study. So, it's kind of a tough one. I got to think about when are you usually available to study? Um, for me, I'm usually available to study in the morning. Not all mornings, but most mornings I'm available to study. And sometimes I'm available to study in the afternoon. And sometimes I'm available to study in the evening, especially since I started drinking rooibos tea. I have more energy, more time to study. How about you? When are you usually available to study? So it doesn't mean like that you study. It just means that you are available to study. Okay, YTH says so I would add am, like I am usually available to study after going home. Nice. Great, very nice. Okay, Workshop says, I'm usually available to study in the morning and after dinner. Very nice, that's great. So right now, we are looking at this question, when are you usually available to study? And what you can do is write your answer in the chat. And so, some people might say, oh, I'm so busy. I'm almost never available to study. How about you? But yeah, everyone's different. So please feel free to share your ideas in the chat. And Mama says, I'm usually available to study Duolingo in the early morning. Great. Thank you for joining the show, Kan Mama. Nice idea. Take Agner says, I'm usually available to study after dinner. That's great. Thank you for joining the show, Take Agner. Charmy says, I'm usually available to study in the early morning. Great. Thank you for joining the show, Charmy. So, yeah, it looks like, some people in the early morning, some people after dinner. Very interesting. Lots of different times. I know, it's kind of, the interesting thing, not only available, but like energy. Sometimes I'm available to study in the morning, but I don't have enough energy. And so that can be quite challenging. But yeah, great. Nice ideas. Okay, well, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Okay, let's move on to the next section. So this time, please write a new question in the chat by changing my question. I'll start the timer. Okay, so please write a new question in the chat by changing my question. My question is, when are you usually available to study? So, very simple one might be like, when are you usually available to go jogging? I guess some people might say never, never available to go jogging. But anything's okay. Please enjoy. This program is all about having a good time using English, and so you can just enjoy. Try to make a fun question. All right, Charmin says, when are you usually available to take a walk? Great question. Well, I might be available to take a walk in the evenings now since I've started, being more healthy, drinking tea. But I have to be careful, sometimes for me, if I exercise in the evening, sometimes I have a hard time to sleep. How about you, Charming? When are you usually available to take a walk? YTH says, when are you usually available to get up in the morning? Interesting idea. Yeah. When are you usually available to get up in the morning? Nice idea. Kan Mama says, when are you usually available to go shopping? Well, not often. Not often. Because I'm not a big fan of shopping, but sometimes I'm available on the weekend to go shopping, and sometimes on Thursdays. How about you, Kan Mama? When are you usually available to go shopping? Okay, K-Workshop says, okay, you are really busy. If so, when are you available to clean your room? To clean your room. Great question. Great question. Sometimes I like to add, I know. I know you are really busy. If so, when are you available to clean your room? Great question to ask. I always think, sometimes the best way to make someone available is to set the condition. So, like my son, he's available to study English before watching YouTube videos. So in the morning, if he studies English with me, then he can watch videos, and so he's available. Okay, Charmin says, I'm usually available to take a walk after work. That's great. Nice idea. Takanona says, when are you usually available to read books? Great question. Definitely in the evening. YO says, when are you usually available to take what? I think, maybe like take a trip or take a walk, take a hike. Yeah, great. Nice. Thank you for joining the show, KO. And thank you guys for sharing your great ideas. Very nice. Good work. Okay, well, let's, and if you want to, you can please continue working. But let's move on to the last question of tonight's show, which is, I love going out for a drink, but I'm not often available to go. How about you? Okay, let's listen and repeat. I love going out for a drink, but I'm not often available to go. How about you? One more time. I love going out for a drink, but I'm not often available to go. How about you? Okay, so now please write your answer in the chat. So this is kind of a tough one because this sentence slash question has two parts. The first part is I love going out for a drink. So you could and then someone says, "How about you?" Oh, very simple. You could say, "Me too," um, or you might say, "I don't love going out for a drink," or I I kind of like going out for a drink. There's kind of different levels. And then, but I'm not often available to go. How about you? So, yeah, that's it's kind of tough. It's a little bit of a two-part question. Um, maybe some people like some people I know might say, I love going out for a drink, but I'm almost never available to go. People who have families or kids are probably almost never available to go. But not never, just almost never. All right. K Workshop says, me neither. If possible, I want to go out every day. Wow. I love the spirit. K Workshop, great spirit. Great spirit. Yeah, me too. If possible. And if I was, you know, had enough time, energy, money, and if, going out for a drink, um, didn't affect me the next day. Um, yeah. If possible, I want to go out every day. It's perfect sentence. But yeah, kind of sometimes people say, "I wish," me neither. But I wish I could go out every day. How about you? Some people love to stay home. So I love going out for a drink, but I'm not often available to go. How about you? And it's me. I love staying home um, and relaxing. Maybe staying home and relaxing and reading a book, watching TV. You know, uh, some people are like that. Um, yeah, everyone's different. Some people might say, uh, I don't love going out for a drink, but I love like going out for karaoke. Um, all right. Well, if you're working on your idea, please continue, and you can send it anytime. All right. Takesh says, I love to paint, but I can't seem to get into it. How about you? Yeah, I think painting, even, like learning a language, it's quite challenging at the very beginning. You're very limited with the words and the, sentences you can make. I think painting's the same, like when you first begin, very limited with like what kind of paint skills you can use. And so that sounds challenging, but I would just say, try to be patient and try to enjoy each step along the way. Great, nice idea, Takesh. Okay, let's move on to the last section of tonight's show. This time, please write a new question in the chat by changing my question. So I'll start the timer. Okay, so yeah, I like Takesh's idea was, a good one, and it's kind of a good example of how, if you want to, you could change this sentence, like, and then, make, ask how about you. So that's great, good example. I love to paint, I love learning languages, but I'm not often available to study. How about you? Uh, yeah, so anything is okay. Please enjoy. Enjoy trying to write a new question in the chat by changing my question any way you want. No, I love it. Kind of strange. It's kind of strange, but actually, I've always loved running. But these days, I'm not often available to go running. Too bad. Takesh says, sorry, I got ahead of myself. No problem, Takesh. Nice work. That's a great example. Very nice example. Nice work, and yeah, that's great. No problem. Okay, so what would be good? Many of my students love taking trips overseas, but it's challenging. Either financially or time. Having enough time. Uh, how about you? I know, for me, I'm not often available to practice speaking Spanish, but recently, I've told people before, but maybe I've started practicing speaking Spanish while riding my bike when there are no people around me. It's a good chance to practice speaking. So mm, that's very, very nice, very beneficial. All right. What could be a good, a new question? Yeah, anything is okay. All right. K Workshop says, I love riding a motorcycle on the dirt, but almost no one else does. How about you? Okay, yeah, that's kind of rare hobby. I know a lot of people who like horseback riding, but yeah, I think in Guma, you're the only one I know who loves riding a motorcycle on the dirt. Okay, Hiro T says, I love reading books, but I'm very busy these days and not available to read. How about you? Great. Perfect. Perfect. Good example. It's tough, trying to find time to enjoy your hobbies is quite challenging. But I think, a lot of times in life it's just being patient, you know, and then, sometimes in your life get really busy and you don't have time to do, like don't have time to read books or time to study. But in the future, maybe, hopefully, I hope you will have more time to read. Okay, well, that's the end of the show. I'm not going to do that. So, um, well, anyways, thank you guys. Thank you so much for joining tonight's show. It was very fun to study and use English with you. And we have shows every Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday at 8:30 p.m. So if you haven't already, please subscribe and give the video a thumbs up. I hope everyone has a great evening, and I will see you next time. So take care. Good night.